Says we're live. Why not kick it off a few minutes early? There's a guest in Rumble. How you doing? Hope you're having a terrific day over there. And I'll try my best not to be discouraging, because the reality of every moment we are gifted right here, right now, there are great opportunities for us all. In fact, I was looking into the scripture, but before we do, let's kick off the live on Instagram, and let's officially kick off this episode, even being a few minutes early. Why not? We do what we want. Welcome to Unmuzzled Chat. Time we start embodying that and speaking up and supporting our First Amendment. We need that on a grander scale than we've experienced for some time. The question really does boil down to, do we value our freedoms? We have been living in an illusion of freedoms, similar to the Matrix, given luxuries and certain abilities that in this life that Satan and his minions and his evildoers have infiltrated. And man, that's why they can so boldly state that we'll own nothing and be happy, that we'll eat bugs and be happy, because they've so effectively built things out and to where the masses aren't even acknowledging it. And they're like, yes, more bugs, please. We must get people plugged into the truth. The truth will truly set us free, and we'll be able to acknowledge the very threats against us. Now, as I was just looking through the Bible here at the Tyndale Verse Finder, I know I've quoted it before, but it even spoke to me. Not that I felt lazy and I wasn't going to show up today, but I can see how with the Lyme disease and all the warfare that's being waged on us, how I'm ebbing and flowing. I can only imagine how much everyone out there is ebbing and flowing in their daily lives. My heart goes out to you greatly. So much of this is not even natural. We're not even getting a fair shake at this existence, and that breaks my heart. I'd venture to say, if I could snap my fingers even seemingly to the most functioning among us and give them a taste, a glimpse as to their highest function, their natural function in this existence, they would change careers, they'd change paths entirely. That now would be the most important thing among other things in this life. Like you would come to realize, like, we've just been so poisoned, so dumbed down, and it breaks my heart. But do not be dismayed. There are great leaps to be had, miracles to take place, and it's nothing shy than a miracle that I am sitting before you today and able to read, able to communicate to any extent with all the flaws included. It wasn't that long ago I myself was knocking on death's door. So anyone that's in a depressive state or seemingly struggling and don't see a way out, hang in there. Continually add things into your daily that you're not doing. I don't care if it's as simple as walking, cold showers, grounding, workouts, shifting your sourcing of water, shifting your sourcing of food, supplements, herbs, and you will start to hone in on some things that help you. You will acknowledge some things that don't. Just keep a tally, keep a journal. Start with the trifecta. Add the Bible, the Jesus is Calling daily devotional, and a journal. And there'll be great leaps and bounds, and miracles will take place. I have no doubt about that. Now, with the information that we're going to go over in this very episode, I mean, it is insane to me, the world we're living in. I mean it. pinch me. How is this the world we are freaking living in from so many different angles? Don't get me started on that. How is this the world we're living in? We all have opportunity right now, so we choose to take it. I pray more of us take it. I pray more of us actually team up. It's through numbers that we will really see results. 100%. And it really has gotten to a point that whatever it takes, we must do to rule out these evil, tyrannical rulers or their puppets. So laziness, there's some biblical scripture here. Let's dive into truth and seek that for ourselves. This will only bless our lives. And it truly is the living word. Laziness can ruin you. Proverbs 6 through 11. Laziness can make you poor. Proverbs 10:4 through 5. Lazy people work for others. Proverbs 12:24. Lazy people make excuses. Proverbs 22:13. Now I want to interject. So much of this lazy that is getting touched on here, evil is effectively weaponized some things to achieve a result of more so laziness in even, yes, this very country. You could see it through the obesity, and it's in a laziness sense that is even bigger than what we more so traditionally thought is lazy, just being a big body. There are so many individuals that are lazy with their minds, even in thin bodies, with all the technologies and gaming and social media platforms and just mindless entertainment manipulative entertainment through YouTube and such. So it really does span the gauntlet. It's important above all that we're not lazy with God. We're not lazy with looking at the big picture. That the simple fact we're all visiting here, that should be a very humbling fact. That above all, we seek the answers to that. And when you get set on that path, everything else more so falls into its place. Priorities included. Lazy people oversleep. Proverbs 26:14. See, my heart just goes out to people that the devilish tactics have been far too effective. So many of these individuals, and I don't want to give you a victim card to play, but to properly acknowledge as to why, let's just call lazy people abnormal. Let's just say that's abnormal. And for the majority of people, if we really honed in on evil's tactics, it would be abnormal to a vast percentage of us, not just in this country, but across the world. So on an individual level, if we could hone in on the very, let's just say, parasites, heavy metals, molds, the toxins in our food and water, fluoride, and now the air, the more we can eradicate those things, wouldn't we more so naturally fall into our natural selves, which more than likely wouldn't be lazy? So don't let this title or label be you. Become you. Now, in this moment, you could relate to it, but dang it, there's a path you could start taking which takes you right out of laziness, and it's worth every freaking step. Lazy people encourage people to work. Whoa, I read that wrong. I apologize. Encourage lazy people to work. You should find things that God's will above our own. He will lead you on a path that'll be more important than what your neighbor would prize you for work. It could be a whole it could be a whole different Work could be many things. It's like define work. But being busy and engaged in something meaningful, worthwhile, purposeful. And if that's a personal bank account that's included in there, fantastic. However, I feel in this stage, we're actually more so wrapped up in the matrix, in the mortal of this existence, than the bigger picture as to why we're here. So we're not to get lost and totally encompassed in the bubble of work as it's defined in this life. But that was 1 Thessalonians 5:14. Lazy people should not be allowed to be freeloaders. No, sir. Too much of that going on in this country to the detriment of good, hard-working individuals. I don't know about you, but I'm seeing so many people's health deteriorating. And like never before. It's quite frightening. But to hand it all over to God and seize the opportunities we can in this moment, that's all we could do. Let's not be disheartened. But let's not become enablers. This is 2 Thessalonians 3:10. And give people the proper momentum and boost. To be excited. Like, ask yourself, do you value this existence? Yeah, it may suck right now. It could be depressing. It could be very hard. But the great turnaround for me was when I kind of more so metaphorically stood before the man in the mirror and asked myself if I valued this existence. At first, it sadly was a yes, barely. But it became a more resounding frick yes near after that. And with that, frick yes, I knew what that took. Cut out alcohol, other substances, and I wish I could report that it got easier. It didn't get easier. I took fitness more serious. Life got harder in a lot of ways. But the most beautiful work began. Started looking inwardly, working out it's just an amazing path for us all to take, and that is fulfilling the very purpose as to why we're here and freeing ourselves. So can we free ourselves and help free others along the way? What better things to engage in this moment in time than just that? Okay, that being said, oh boy. To all those that love the talking heads, that will only hear it when it's on a big screen. It's only truth when it's on a big screen. Now, I despise the talking heads. They are controlled opposition from we the people. They are giving us a illusion of choice. It is so much bigger than red versus blue. Are you kidding me? But some people, frankly, just need to hear it. So this is the first clip of today's episode. And if you have individuals showing up getting their flu shot / COVID vaccines, and all they do is watch the news, well, then send them this clip. And that could be the start of the rabbit hole for them. Because it is egregious. It shouldn't even be an option on the shelves. But unfortunately, it is mainly due to the lack of action we all have taken. So at minimum, can we store this singular clip in our phones to send it out to loved ones to save their lives? Well, that is your choice. But here we go on Fox News. They're saying it. Finally, individuals are saying it's no good. Let's just play it. What a joke.
Florida Surgeon General says for us to stop getting the COVID vaccine.
Yeah, Luann, Florida Surgeon General Dr. Latipo says he has safety concerns pertaining to the discovery of billions of DNA fragments found per dose in the Pfizer and Moderna COVID vaccines. And he says those concerns have not been addressed by the FDA or the CDC. Dr. Latipo says if the risks of DNA integration with COVID vaccines cannot be addressed, then the vaccines aren't appropriate for use in humans. He says he sent letters to the heads of the FDA and the CDC specifically questioning how this would impact humans in 3 main areas: healthy human genes being transformed into cancerous cells, chromosomal instability, and how the integration could affect unintended parts of the body, such as the heart, brain, lungs, even the injection site itself. We asked local Dr. Michael Sparks to weigh in. Dr. Sparks telling us with the state Surgeon General saying one thing and the FDA another, health providers are left stuck in the middle.
Health providers shouldn't be stuck at all. Fully acknowledging and understanding this bioweapon should be eradicated from the shelves. So, do you need the talking heads to tell you? Will it only then sink in? Will you listen like a good little slave? Because that's essentially what it is. I mean, my goodness. These words may seem harsh for those that have not gotten on free speech platforms, realizing they are all owned by the same companies giving you the illusion of choice. These talking head organizations have lied and lied and lied. But they effectively cover it up and get louder about another topic, and just keep the circus going. And people blindly are following that. Well, luckily, we've effectively stood up a lot of free speech platforms. It's absolutely crucial that we get all individuals that are able to question anything, have any discernment, any critical thinking skills. I mean, even at the point they're semi-functional and they're on their feet and they're doing things, it's like complimenting that individual to the best of your ability and what they're able to do, and then transition that into those abilities and the importance of, look, if you don't get on free speech platforms, my friend, you're not free at all. So why is it? It's like, pinch me in this world. Why is it? With choice, the majority of individuals are going to manipulative propagandist platforms such as YouTube versus Rumble. Why are individuals choosing shackles over freedom? I truly don't believe that it's everyone doesn't undervalue freedom or doesn't value freedom. I'm sure there's a percentage of them that aren't acknowledging that and putting that together. I'd venture to say that the majority of them don't accurately grasp the detrimental impacts that type of warfare is going to have on them, and they see it more so innocence. I'm sure there's other actual kinetic warfare scenarios and situations we could bring up where those levels of ignorance, it's no good. So it just kind of sounds the alarm on the us in the know is to doing what we can and challenging ourselves in conversations, once again, to their abilities and asking them about freedoms. And if they value freedoms, well, how? Because then the conversation could be had on under no type of bias, just under information in and of itself. Well, shouldn't we have free speech to maintain that? How could we obtain? How could, and start using their critical thinking skills? Like, how could we even obtain freedom even if it was a good misinformation campaign? Even if it was, like, how could that even be good? So we might be able to make some headway with some of these individuals, and that is so crucial in this time. To me, man, wow, this man has a huge heart. What a freaking hero. Whatever it takes at this point, whatever it takes. And sadly, this isn't enough. I'd wonder if we all just played hooky, didn't go in today and did what this man did into any local CVS or anywhere, administering still these shots and video recorded the interactions. Not only are you going to end up viral and create a lot of awesome momentum, but I wonder what impact that would have. Let's go ahead and play this.
This is a message to boots. Stop administering the COVID vaccine. You are killing innocent people. You have blood on your hands. You are administering an experiment.
He is my hero.
It's been proven to cause a number of adverse reactions. This vaccine has killed young people. This vaccine is one of the greatest crimes against humanity we have ever witnessed. You need to start researching the type of ingredients that vaccines contain. Aluminium, formaldehyde, MRC5, mercury.
It's like, I'm sorry, security guard. Are you bothered by the loud noises? Or like, this is clearly how disconnected we are. We more so be like unnerved by those loud noises versus the actual truth he's speaking. If I walked into a place, I would want to get in line and join him and like start encoring, take them off the shelves, abolish vaccine, or the COVID-19, and hopefully have enough people to get the pharmacists to do that. But what a disconnect. It actually goes to show like the social norm is what's so backwards in our world today. It's another kind of pinch me moment.
This is the second most toxic substance on the planet.
There's criminal trials starting in America for fraud because of the vaccine.
Yes.
Vaccine has killed people. We have to stand up, we have to fight.
Yes.
I'm doing my own research, mate.
As long as boots aren't infected, you don't care if people have died. It's killed people. That's officially acknowledged by governments around the world.
Right.
Over 300,000 registered adverse reactions by June 2021. Now, can anybody who works behind this desk name one ingredient inside the COVID vaccine?
You're the one that's causing the issue.
Good question.
We're causing the issue. Versus this, you've charged £98.95 to potentially die.
You're defending absolute evil.
This whole company is complicit in murder.
So they get escorted out. Of course. Because we live in a clown world that's upside down. The evil has incentivized their corporations and their tyrannical rule over our actual freedoms. Unbelievable. We have been herded like cattle. It's crazy. This boils my blood. There is no rules on free speech, period. There's consequences if you threaten, right? There should be consequences for threatening, right? Other than that, no, your speech is, there's no infringing upon that. Only criminals want to control their narratives. These are the most dangerous criminals and must be dealt with ASAP. Let's do not fall for their lies. The proof of this man's deception is horrific. And this man should be made an example of today. Literally today. Why would we would be foolish to wait any longer. I demand Bill Gates' arrest. Based on that, let's make this episode go viral so we can actually build momentum and get this man freaking behind bars. I know he's just a puppet, but the ones above him will come next. Just hear him. Now, sure, they put a colorful bow and it's under, oh yeah, this and that, as though they're fighting misinformation. Do not be gaslit. Do not lose sight of the truth of the outcomes. I mean, he himself stated that if they do really good in health services and really good through vaccinations, that we could actually depopulate the world by 10 or 15%. Any common sense would tell you that's not healthcare, that's not health services, that's not saving lives, that's murdering lives. That's genocide. The world population by 10 or 15%, that's a math equation I still have yet to do, but that is amount of death we cannot even comprehend. And yes, it's genocide. And everything they've done is infringed upon. Like, even what he speaks out right here, the fact that this has to do with a shot, there's so many infringements on the Nuremberg Code right here in this speech.
We should have free speech, but if you're inciting violence, if you're causing people not to take vaccines, you know, where are those boundaries that even the U.S. should, you know, have rules? And then if you have rules, you know, what is it? Is there some AI that encodes those rules? Because you have billions of activity, and, you know, if you catch it a day later, the harm is done. We should have free speech, but if you're inciting violence, if you're causing people not to...
Such a crock. Just gaslighting. They're the true propagandists, the misinformationists, the disinformationists, and their lies and deceit is what's hateful and leads to egregiously negative outcomes and death and harm. Who put them in charge? It would be so easy for us to tear down this infrastructure. We outnumber these freaking evildoers hundreds of thousands to one. If not, in fact, millions to one. Millions. What are we afraid of? So this is what he wants. This is what he wants to put under as egregious, because he doesn't want anything negative out there about their life-saving vaccines. What a liar. What a wolf in sheep's clothing. They're bioweapon. So it's only criminals want to infringe on our First Amendment. And this right here is what he would want to delete. And this is, in fact, what they've effectively suppressed on the majority of the platforms. And these stories don't make it on mainstream. Are you kidding me? Quit. Lay down. Wow, Bolt. Hey. Bolt just had me jump out of my socks there. I would not expected that. Let's play this clip.
October the 24th, 2024, and I've just come off the phone from a lady whose mum has died the day after being given a COVID vaccine and a flu, both at the same time. She only went for a flu shot. They pressured her to take COVID vaccine as well. Just dropped down dead suddenly. Coroner doesn't even want to have a look. Waved her straight into the funeral directors.
Unbelievable.
She is going to document her mum's story in a video. I'm going to be sharing it as soon as I get it, to be honest with you. Fucking scumbags. You doctors in surgeries,
yes,
you know what this mRNA does. You are complicit in genocide.
Yes,
you
they
will
are.
be held accountable, whether that be by the law courts or the public. Know that your time is short, so do your fucking worst. You disgust me. October the 24th,
they disgust me too. Brother, my heart goes out to you. I'd love to have you on the podcast. We could talk all about it. We could expose as much as we can to the best of our ability. But that right there is what this evildoer wants to censor, wants to control the narrative so no one actually grasps what it is they are nefariously feeling. Why would evil do this? I mean, that's a good question. Why would the Georgia Guidestones and world population under 500 million, the genocide of 7.5 billion people, why? In my eyes, it's quite simple. When you actually look into and you do enough research and you realize the one percenters, the Illuminati, the Freemasons, I mean, there are all these private societies, and it goes back to like kings and queens. It's never gone away. And they've involved more and more satanic evil rituals and things of that nature, and bloodlust and adrenochrome, like trafficking children. It's horrific. It's horrific. Fulfilling evil's bloodlust. So these individuals in this life, they care about this life. So they worship the devil. That's their God. That's who they choose. That is clear. So in order for this two-tiered infrastructure that yes, has even infiltrated the United States of America to continue to reign without threat, they must gain more control. And maybe if they gain the proper technological advances and centralization of things, maybe they don't need to drop the level to 500 million. Maybe they could actually keep it up higher, and yet it won't pose a threat to their rule. Either way would be an unacceptable, egregiously unacceptable outcome for anyone. I believe we are so close to that. I just sit here and question, since our loving creator God is everything free agency, and I look upon all these infringements of his will for us here in that regard, even trying to make a mortal assessment with my battle with a bioweapon called Lyme, it seems as though we're dangerously teetering on, because if it defeats God's purpose to that degree, our time here is done. He's shown up. It's biblically talked about. That's where, more important than showing up and fulfilling our role in this life, in the spiritual wars that are being waged, that we gain that relationship with him that he's seeking within all of us. And that's why I don't, through any religion, it's directly through him, directly through Jesus Christ. There's a lot of main religions out there that really seem to help knit that relationship, but I've seen a lot of them sow in some discord, some distractions, some tougher pathways, if you will. It's interesting. And it's just become clear that other individuals, that's why I like to make the distinction, my loving creator God, because it's no secret. There's so many individuals in this world that do worship gods. And there's two different ones. And unfortunately, there's a lot of them that worship the God that is here to kill, destroy, and they admit it. They're like, Satan is their, like, praise, hail Satan, essentially. And they'll even have signs at the protests. Let's just say there were one recently at a Kamala rally where they were just continually talking about murdering innocent life and receiving all these cheers. It's so disheartening. It's so sickening. It's like, forgive them. They do not know what they do. I don't know how God's going to judge that one when there's so much innocent life lost to that. But then there's individuals clearly that believe in the Bible, believe in our loving creator, believe in Jesus, but end up deceived on certain talking points or certain ideologies or maybe even energies, right? How we interact. And walking sinful and out of this anger and lust. Well, then you're more so walking on the fence in a sense. It's like you know the truth, but yet you're not choosing it. So you're being deceived by the devil. So it's like that has become your God. So anyway, what a tough experience, but what a beautiful time to be alive, because it is so black and white. In a way, it's becoming clearer and clearer every day. Now, this video here, holy smokes, do the math on this. Now, I kind of have it sped up a bit, but you could pause it or play at any point. This really blows up their whole narrative, and more proof is the pandemic. If everyone on the planet had to be vaccinated at least 3 times. 8 billion people times 3. 24 doses. Which means if every manufacturer made a vaccine every year, it would take 32 years to make 1 billion. If 5 companies, 5 plants, 1 per second. It would take 10 years to make 7.8 billion doses. Holy smokes. Yeah, right. Yeah, it didn't happen. You know what this proves? They had gene therapy jabs all ready to go prior to the pandemic. It's why they were even doing those pandemic tests before the pandemic ever started and looking into the patents. Like, all this is planned, folks. It's like, wake up. We've all been a bunch of damn fools. In a huge sense. My goodness, we are so malleable, so easily manipulated in this existence. I don't know if I got the patience to hear this propagandist spew all of his lies. But to actually listen and absorb, then we can see the war tactics, not just in this arena, but so many others. Let's see how much I'll even be able to get through gritting my teeth.
One of the things that we're not hearing a lot about is the unique potential safety problem of coronavirus vaccines.
And then something changed.
Any vaccine released by emergency use authorization by the FDA is an outstanding vaccine.
J&J's vaccine has a risk of life-threatening blood clots.
When you hear the beep, that's the sound of safety.
So don't overthink it. They're both really good. They're all really good vaccines. Get vaccinated now.
You gotta call now.
If you wait, it's going to be really too late to protect your child.
If this was your child, what happens next could make it the worst day of your life.
So even though COVID poses zero threat to healthy children,
vaccinate your children.
Do the right thing. Be safe and not sorry.
I'm strongly recommending for adolescents to get their 2 doses of vaccine and fully immunized after those 2 doses.
Advanced technology that can help save lives.
This is going to be a long-lasting vaccine. A long-lasting vaccine.
A few moments later.
We're seeing that 2 doses is not holding up well for emergency room visits. It's not holding up well for hospitalizations.
Here we go again.
Everyone's going to need a booster. You need that 3rd immunization.
Wow. Triple the amount.
Get that 3rd immunization. The 2 mRNA vaccines were always a 3-dose vaccine. The 2 mRNA vaccines were always a 3-dose vaccine. I've always said this is a 3-dose vaccine. I've always said this is a 3-dose vaccine. This is a 3-dose vaccine.
But I'm not done yet.
That 3rd immunization, the problem is it's not holding up. So we may have to look at sort of innovative solutions.
Oh God, not this again.
A 4th immunization.
Where are the gallows?
Just to keep them going. Keep the country
extreme
going.
Accountability.
The box things. A 4th immunization. A 4th immunization. Get that 2nd boost. A 2nd boost to keep the country going. I've made that recommendation. A 4th immunization.
But I'm still not done.
1 semester later.
Unfortunately, the numbers are starting to trend up again. So the hospitalizations are up. And so the most important message that I have this morning is get your new bivalent booster.
Willie and Lise were saying they got their booster, and I was like, oh, I need to get mine. And then I found out they're talking about the 3rd shot. And is that the bivalent, or is it the 4th booster, or does it matter?
Don't worry so much about the number of.
There's no wrong way to use it.
You have to get it. This
oh my gosh! Don't even worry about the number.
The bivalent one is doing a much better job.
They can't even count that high anymore.
Bivalent booster. That bivalent booster for COVID.
But does everyone ages 12 and older need a booster?
The answer is yes. Yes.
Disgusting.
And by the way, if you're over 50 and have gotten 2 boosters and more than 2 to 4 months out, you're going to need a 3rd booster as well, a 5th immunization.
Just jump to 5.
I don't think we're going to need an annual booster like flu.
Eventually.
Dr. Hotez supports yearly boosters, just like flu.
But I'm still not done.
It looks as though
I demand an arrest.
Holding up quite as well
as everyone in this video.
And I think our thinking is going to change, and that what's To happen is every, few months, we may need another booster.
Oh my
Perfect results
gosh.
each and every time.
We just could not overcome that massive disinformation campaign. These fake concepts
You
of herd immunity,
are the
discrediting masks.
disinformationist.
Dr. Hotez, you are a national treasure.
It is picking off young people
Unbelievable.
like we've never seen.
Dr. Peter Hotez, that was extremely informative.
Oh my
Disinformation
gosh.
that you're hearing,
These
that
ass
kids are
kissers.
fine, it's nonsense. Kids need to get that vaccination.
You healthcare workers have been our saviors.
Do you get it? Every time they're saying this, connecting Pfizer's just cutting a fat check. You have sold your souls, you freaking cowards, and there literally will be hell to pay. I don't care if we get justice in this life. I know our loving creator will handle it. I just want to shut these things down to minimize their propagandist manipulative effects on the masses that are continually keeping us all divided and focusing on the real issue. And the real issue is bigger than red versus blue right now. We must assemble. There is going to be a great challenge around the corner here. I know that. Guess we'll see what people's choice, in fact, is come that day of trouble.
Watch out for that misinformation.
Dr. Peter Hotez is probably one of the smartest people on this topic.
If you haven't gotten your 5 and ups vaccinated yet, now's the time to do that.
Dr. Peter Hotez, thank you for saving the world.
They also support giving that third immunization for the 12 to 17 year olds.
People have to feel safe.
Dr. Hotez, you are a voice of reason.
Take down the fake information, these fake concepts of herd immunity. Our last hope is to vaccinate our way through this. Make certain that everybody's vaccinated, including their kids. That's
to hear
the
this
most
after the
thing right now, the American people have
so
to do.
disgusting.
Dr. Peter Hotez is a person that we like to go to for the sort of expertise.
The single most impactful thing you can do is make certain that you're fully boosted and preferably true boosted.
Later.
Monkeypox is a global emergency.
And it's accelerating among a specific social network of men who have sex with men, not because it's sexually transmitted.
Monkeypox
More
is
lies.
sexually transmitted. Almost exclusively.
Before we let you go, we have to stop and applaud you because a lot of MSNBC viewers have watched you constantly for the last 3 years.
No
or so
trust.
and have come to trust you. I don't know if they
No
fully
trust.
appreciate what you have done.
How?
One of the things
they're even seeking accolades to their misinformation campaign. That is a true war machine against we the people. I don't know how people aren't acknowledging this and setting down. Why we literally have invaders, enemies, missiles were being attacked. Like, why World War III has begun, and we're just allowing it to continue and continually get shots fired. I do not understand this. I do not understand it, people. I just don't.
Stop.
Well, let's go ahead and continue because I want to explode after that last one. It just messed me all up.
In everything I've seen, in all the autopsies I've done of cancer patients,
this is more so the proof of the outcome. Proving that manipulative POS that should be tried and if found guilty, swinging from a noose somewhere to set an example.
not one of them died of cancer. They died of liver failure, they died of cardiac failure,
this one's
renal
different.
failure, all due to chemotherapy. We got a patient that had been through chemo and radiation, and they had cooked her liver and cooked her kidneys. We looked at the blood work.
So we are stepping away from the COVID tyranny and the weaponization of Western medicine, but also the weaponization of Western medicine and what's been profitable due to other illnesses, other diseases such as cancer. And the evidence he's bringing to all of us is it's more than eyebrow raising.
You can realize she had no organ function to speak of left. And I said, we can make her more comfortable, but the radiation treatment that they used on her has actually destroyed her organs. So we did what we could. She'd been given 3 weeks, we gave her 6 months. And she got time to say goodbye to her family. But I remember walking into the office the morning after she passed, and this internist was sitting on the waiting room couch. And I said, "What's the problem?" And she looked at me and she said, "I'm doing the death certificate, and I don't know what to write for cause of death." I said, "You might try writing the truth for a change." And she said, "You know how much trouble I can get in by doing that?" I said, "If you're going to..."
Why would they be in trouble stating the truth regarding any of our dead loved ones? Think on that. That exposes so much corruption right there. How have we not been in the know? And even now, like, do we care? Are we going to do anything? It's interesting.
You're going to study with me. You're going to write the truth. And she wrote radiation poisoning.
Good on you.
Cause of death. She's the only doctor I've ever seen do that. She actually had the courage to tell the truth.
Wow. Unbelievable.
And everything.
Now, there's other promising information, and it's not just this clip. So we don't want to just bring horrific connections to Western medicine. We actually want to more so provide solutions. And there's so many other more natural remedies, surprise, surprise, that cannot be patented. This is why it doesn't get integrated into our Western business medical system. You can't patent nature. So they will never actually have even the studies on nature because there's no profit in it, yet nothing is going to be integrated as a treatment solution for your loved one that has an ailment. That's even been my experience with Lyme disease. It's freaking, this is crazy, folks. We need more energy and attention going into all this to help pave the way for those that are suffering. But even in the bigger sense, let's actually find out what is causing these issues. And we already know. A big bulk has come from the sky. A big bulk has come from the water. A big bulk has come from Western medicine as we know. A big bulk of it is coming from our water and our food. A big bulk is coming from the frequency side. And how will we ever know until we start knocking all of these off? And that is very easily done just with enough of us like, all right, yeah, I'm done being a lab rat today. I'm done kind of feeling this way, and then just going up to the same job that they're running everything anyways and feeding into the system. Like, we are slaves. We are not free in America. Newsflash, at all. We are under the illusion of freedom, my friends. So it's... Don't even get me started. I could go off on the taxations and all these illegal things that have been stood up to just squeeze us more and more. No accountability, a two-tiered infrastructure. Yeah, it's time to gain all that back. 100%. But once again, with this particular issue, if you have someone struggling with cancer, let's see, the link between parasites and this one's diabetes. Check it out.
This doctor exposes the link between parasites and diabetes.
And this is out of Dr. Hulda Clark's book, The Cure for All Diseases. Diabetes. All diabetics have a common fluke parasite, which is actually the pancreatic fluke of cattle.
By the way, why is ivermectin helping so many cancer patients? Helping so many diabetics? Helping in so many ways. I believe a lot more of the roots of our issues are more parasitical than bacterial, viral, and even cancerous cells. So, okay, I was mistaken. I thought this was another cancer, but this is a good clip. There are a lot of these herbal books and doctors speaking out like, hey, we pretty much have the cure to cancer. And it's just a natural herbal remedy. There is hope around the corner, And I know with time, especially if we maintain these free speech platforms and the right to free speech, then it's only a matter of time till we get organized to the point it is a clear-cut path for everyone. And we really could obtain more health. However, if we don't address our free speech and maintain that and our health along the ways, then we are forever dog chasing still. We're going to continue to get another ailment, another COVID, another, influenza, another monkeypox, whatever. They're going to continue to do it. There have already been 40 different combinations of chemicals found in the sky. 40 different batches, if you will. 40. And that's what we know of. Just imagine they start concocting other things that become more effective in the ways they want, which is control. That is not good. Control means that's fighting against God. That's taking away not just freedoms, but our free agency. We're to take a stance on this, folks.
In their own human pancreas. And stay with me because this is where it gets mind-blowing. This parasite will not settle and multiply in our pancreas without the presence of wood alcohol. So you're probably wondering, well, where would I consume wood alcohol? This wood alcohol pervades our food supply. It is found in processed food, including bottled water, artificial sweetener, soda pop, baby formula, and powdered drinks of all kinds.
Wow.
Dr. Clark states that by killing this parasite and removing wood alcohol from the diet, the need for insulin can be cut in half in 3 weeks or sooner.
So to all of those that think, oh yeah, I'm too strong, soda pop won't hurt me, and all these things won't hurt me, man, delusional. We got to get it to a point where we actually have things that are refreshing, are fulfilling, are nutritional, are actual food, not just these processed in water bottles and things of that nature, and the microplastics and all these things leading to diseases. Diabetes is off the freaking charts. Not to mention so many other things. What great opportunity we have with this information. But are we going to just let it go in one ear and out the other? We're not going to share it with our loved ones? We're not going to start sitting down and getting coordinated and organized as a family unit as to, look, you reach out, get the Senate information, and you reach out and get the governor. Let's get all this together, and boom, let's get it out. And then let's share that with the Joneses family and everything. Let's create momentum. It's together. This is for our future. This is for our lives, our livelihoods, our abilities, our function, everything in this existence. And no one's immune. And eventually things will come along and it will catch up to you. Ignorance in this case is not bliss.
So this is where they fail to tell us the full truth. Yes, it's the sugary junk foods, but it is not the sugar. It is the wood alcohol that is allowing these parasites to thrive in your pancreas.
Very interesting.
Thank
you for that clip. There's so much more like that out there. So we mentioned this guys quite a bit. I recently, oh my gosh, even today, let's just say it's a little worse today than yesterday when I even took these other two videos. To those that do not believe their own eyes, here is proof. You don't even need the whole Frankenskies, but yes, you do need to watch this. Everyone alive today needs to watch this documentary. And there's so many others to watch. But that in and of itself should be enough. But let this be the catalyst for you to be like, you know what, I'm going to sit down and watch that. I can't blindly, if this is taking place, I can't blindly sit on the sideline and allow strangers to poison my loved ones, my children and my wife. Yes, I want to fulfill being a protector. And I speak in these profound ways because I'm convinced, I'm convicted. The information, like if someone could really bring it forward and disprove it, I would humbly eat humble pie and apologize to everyone profoundly. And I would build out multitude of episodes apologizing. But I am so convicted in it. It is not, in fact, up for debate. You look at the patents, you look at the geoengineers and the scientists and the government entities involved and also the military involved. It is, unfortunately, the truth is there's a difference between a contrail and a chemtrail, and that the chemtrail is actually spraying with very harmful things. But
all right, let's take a look here.
Look at this for yourself.
I'm having a hard time picking that one up because its contrail is so minimal. But we got a brighter one right here. You see how its rooster tail doesn't get any longer than it currently is? It continually dissipates, yet it's next to a chemtrail that is sprayed and spanned the whole sky. So that, my friends, is a contrail. Like literally, how dumb would you have to be to believe that that's a contrail and also those are contrails that just span the whole sky, that linger all dang day, that end up dissipating out, blanketing the sky such as that? Unbelievable. It starts waving out. Every bit of white in the sky now is not natural. It's not cloud formations. And you come over here and you can see more distinctive chemtrail sprays. Like, the fact of the matter is, oh my gosh, here we go. Here we go, right here. This mother fricker just flipped the switch. So how does it happen? A distinctive start, and he's continually spraying, and then right next to him, look at this. It's dissipating. That, my friends, is proof. Look at that.
You can't have both of these, folks. This can't be labeled a contrail, and this cannot be labeled a contrail. Okay? It's not like magically, oh, this one just lasts longer just cuz, and then ends up like this. Look at this freaking difference, folks. Okay? This came from behind a jet. No, I'm not bullshitting. That is the truth of it. This was a stream just like this mere hour or so prior. This is just dissipating. So this is water vapor ice crystallization. Their very definition of a contrail. This cannot be a contrail. That is not water vapor and ice crystallization just spanning the whole sky. You see the on switch. You see the dissipating here. Let this be proof right before your eyes. I videoed this. No doubt if you started paying attention to the skies, you could see this. You could even see a guy in the distance right here. His is dissipating behind his jet, as a contrail should. So it's no question whether or not they in fact are spraying us. They are spraying us. And the evidence behind what they are spraying us is very damning. We need to demand this stops in all of our states across the board.
You got one in front of him that's a contrail. That's a contrail. That doesn't meet the very same definition. Think about their definition. They say water vapors and ice crystallization.
Yeah.
The two with the ones that are dissipating meet that description.
It truly is how dumb do you have to be to believe their definition? And then where do you go to search now? Versus the Frankenskies, versus the free speech. You end up on Google. It's just conspiracy. It's controlled. It's controlled. You go to the talking heads. So get on free speech platforms. X has a whole load of them. Telegram's got a whole bunch of it. True Social's got a whole bunch of it. Rumble has everything you need. My goodness. Here's more. Here's
so sad to
yesterday.
See. So many people just have not connected the dot.
Right.
These are not natural cloud formations. In fact, that was a very
Why do I care? They're poisoning you.
15 minutes ago. And it's already dissipating, going to soon spread out just like these.
Yeah.
Golly, and it just blankets the sky. Inevitably ends up down here with us, polluting our water, polluting our soil, polluting our air that we breathe, the very things we touch. I don't get it. There's evil in this existence, and they want to dumb us down. Why else? You answer me this. Why else have they been pumping fluoride into the water for generations now, knowing it literally lowers IQs? Have we become dumbed down to the point we're not going to do anything about this? Or are we going to take a stand and start making our demands locally with our selected or elected officials? We could demand that this stops now, considering themselves served. And if in fact they do not take this action, then we will seek extreme accountability on any one of them. I don't know why we're not submitting this to our sheriffs and law enforcement.
Right.
Stating war crimes. War crimes. We demand you do something about this as well. Unbelievable. They're poisoning everything you love in this life. Yet, so many, it's a contrail. It's conspiracy. Really? Really? Well, clearly the fluoride has taken effect.
Don't mean to be insulting, but it's the truth of the matter. When you actually do your own research. I mean, once again, like, think about it. How can you saw it for yourself? How can one linger and just seed the whole sky and then one dissipate under the same definition? Okay. Doesn't that in and of itself merit more research? Well, if in fact you want to fulfill your provider role, then do your dang research. This is a great place to start. This uncovers so much of the findings. You literally don't even need to go any further than this. But if you do need to go further, please do. If you find any opposing, reach out to unmuzzledchat@gmail.com. I'd love to schedule you out. We are not afraid to have opposing views try to rip any of these narratives apart. But it is clear. It is like the truth. They're trying to suppress the truth. Why? Why are they trying to do this behind your back? Why? Why did they not bring you into this or have a say? Why? Well, because the outcome is not fighting climate change and global warming. It's not. There are more nefarious things at play here, and it is diminishing our light, our resilience, and our ability to even communicate and fight back. Have the willingness to even fight back, yet live outside of our bubble. It is just, it's having that impact. I'm seeing it more and more around us, folks. I'm feeling it myself. I'm ebbing and flowing too much, and I'm dealing with way too many symptoms. I'm like, why on God's green earth are we continually getting sicker and sicker and just running around frantically trying to fix all of our ailments versus honing in on the roots of the issues? And anyone seemingly healthy that don't address these threats now, it's just a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. And I pray that the healthy more so get on board to champion this narrative. Yeah. Oh. This kind of highlights, it's far bigger than red versus blue, my friends. We must all rule out the corruption in this country. That includes the Federal Reserve, the IRS, the FBI, the CIA, the funders, the West Central Bank System, big corporations, big tech, the talking heads, all traditional news sources, the CDC, the FDA, everything oppressive to our constitutional rights and freedoms, 100%. Now, these gentlemen point out some very powerful infrastructures. Let's think about it.
Israel is a cancer on the West, and it's going to metastasize into World War III if we let it.
To me, it seems like Israel is deliberately trying to push World War III and bring us into it.
That's right.
Like they've gone just completely insane. And it's crazy to me how many Americans and our politicians are all bought, but how they
kinetic
just
warfare.
Praise these people and stand by them. Like, how can you not look with your own eyes? And people try to be like, oh, these videos are fake. It's like, they're not fake. It's just absolutely destroying these people.
There was a reason why Jeffrey Epstein existed. It was to make sure he got compromised. That's what they do. They get blackmail on powerful people. You don't think Bill Clinton, I mean, come on. I mean, how many times did he go to that island? You think they stopped with Jeffrey Epstein?
No.
You think that he was the only one?
People think it's AIPAC and stuff, but it's not just that, which AIPAC does have a ridiculous amount of power.
Right.
It's also a lot of the donors, the Democratic donors. They're almost all Jewish Zionists. Look at Trump's top donors, all Jewish Zionists. But they seem to have complete control, especially the Republican Party, which to me, I never considered myself Republican or Democrat, but I leaned that direction. Now I just,
especially the Democrat Party, it's all corrupt,
nonstop, just tweeting out. Have you seen the tweets they send? It's just stomach churning. It's just I can't tolerate it. It's like I can't have anything to do with that party at this point.
He's really
well. He got a lot. He didn't see the bigger picture. Kind of got caught up in the smoke and the mirrors there himself. It's so much bigger than all of that. And there's another clip. Don't worry. Hang in there. That breathes some light and importance on this election. But it is bigger than this election. We must find common ground and unify against this evil. Because the truth is, like, this is so evil. And the ones behind it, my gosh. Let's play this clip. Disclaimer. But it's the truth. It's the reality of the world we live in. And let's do what we can together. Because the ones behind this, it's time for extreme accountability.
My name is Tara Rodas, and thanks to the bravery of Aaron Stevenson, and thanks to Project Veritas and James O'Keefe for publishing the story, I was sitting on the Pomona Fairplex emergency intake site processing unaccompanied children. So you may know that children were coming to this country from other countries. We were taking them into the care, HHS, and then delivering them to sponsors, unvetted sponsors throughout the United States. So because one whistleblower came forward and because one organization was willing to tell the truth, I was able to then uncover and report that the U.S. government is the middleman in a large-scale, multi-billion-dollar child...
U.S. government in a large-scale, multi-billion dollar child sex trafficking operation. Our U.S. government. We have been under the illusion that we are the good guys. We are not. We have been infiltrated in puppets. We've had a lot. Think about it. Christianity at this point is being weeded out of military, even in this country. We are being targeted. Our government, everything's occupied. Because we wouldn't tolerate this. We would go after. But where's the action? Where's the response to any of it?
Child trafficking operation. We literally have government-sponsored, taxpayer-funded child trafficking. So one whistleblower coming forward, telling the truth, sets in motion a cascade of things that you could never imagine. So I was very grateful for the opportunity for someone to tell the truth. And who knows, maybe one of you could be the next person to come forward. So along with my buddy Aaron, I'm going to continue to speak the truth until children are rescued, criminals are prosecuted, and the United States government no longer is putting billions of dollars to traffic children.
As we all should.
My name is Tara.
How is it that many Americans will come across this very post and ones like it, yet do nothing? These are legitimate questions. We should be gathering over so many topics, so many situations. And when it comes to ones like these, by any means necessary, gain proper results. By any means necessary. Why have our National Guard sitting on their thumbs? Sorry, during this wartime, our normal lives, your little bubble, doesn't matter any longer. It frankly doesn't. It just doesn't. To be wrapped up in soccer practice, NFL, just your schedule, war is being waged. Hundreds of thousands of children are being trafficked. Millions of prenatal murders are taking place, and we're claiming Christian, we're claiming saved. We're called. We pulled it up the other day, but we'll go ahead. I have it fresh still in notes, and I want to embed it into my being. Proverbs 12:11 speaks on the responsibility to help those who cannot help themselves. It goes beyond helping those that can't help themselves in ruling out this corruption. Oh, lo and behold, it will end up kind of self-serving in a sense. We can eradicate the poisons and the targeting. They're targeting you yourself and all your loved ones. So it's a win-win-win-win-win. There's just no option. You know, those two gentlemen were talking about a kinetic World War III that, yes, may very well, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. World War III begun many years ago, and it was involving fifth generation warfare, more so psychological warfare, information warfare. You can see it with the control, the tyrannical control. Look no further than the pandemic and what took place and what they weaponized, what they stood up, where truth lied amongst all the chaos. Where did truth lie? Just seeing the line of truth through it all, you can see the evildoers, the sellouts, the useful idiots. You could see all the warriors for God. You could see the lost sheep. It's very clear. Golly, we live in a blessed time. Well, it's not just that lady pointing out child trafficking. There's other organizations that just, CPS is one of them. But listen to this.
What if I told you Obamacare was set up for one reason and one reason only, and that's to traffic children? Obamacare. It's the only reason it was set up. What if I told you that they invested so much money, they built 3 supercomputers in the university in Austin, Texas, that
this gentleman's no longer with us,
can go to her gynecologist, find out that she's pregnant, and the moment he puts in the code, the child traffickers are following that mother, their pregnancy. They know whether she's going to get an abortion, whether she has a live birth. They follow the kid through the first few years of school. They know if it's got blonde hair, blue eyes, or red hair, green eyes, or whatever. And what if they got blood type, DNA, all your medical records? Obamacare coding system removed doctor-patient confidentiality from the United States and the world.
Wow.
Don't think it just happened here.
Wow, folks. Well, think on this one. We're surrounded by evil, folks. Think on this.
You get it yet? 5 presidents, 10 wars, 0 charges.
Let's just pause it right there. 10 wars, 0 charges. These 5 presidents right here.
1 president, 0 wars, 78 charges.
Just sit on that. Yes, there may be some discrepancies. We shouldn't be relying on any one individual. Our government has outgrown its britches. We're to privatize the majority of what is done there, and we could manage the money, the funds, the institutions far greater than any government entity. 100%. We could unite in such a way we could ensure. I mean, why is it we're seeing out a rotting bag of oatmeal? Why is he allowed to even finish? Just because it's so close? Like, it's our freaking country. Every day there's other things we could be engaged in that are so crucial and so important. Why are we just sitting back and allowing a senile old man to just see out his term? This doesn't even make sense. We are not the United States of America anymore, folks, at all. We can be. if we choose to be. If you want to help us become that on this platform, that's just one of the steps. There's many other calls to action.
Are you okay yet?
I sure hope so. I sure hope so. But it would be insane to think without our help that would be the outcome. This is pretty powerful. I hope you enjoy this one.
My fellow Americans, it looks like some things have changed. Are we doing a good enough job teaching our children what America is and what she represents?
You want an abortion? Get one!
Younger parents aren't sure that an appreciation of America is the right thing to teach modern children.
We're not going to make America great again. It was never that great.
When I drive into a neighborhood and there are American flags, it's a message of white supremacy.
I'm warning of an eradication of the American memory that could result in an erosion of the American spirit.
We need to completely dismantle the police department.
If we forget what we did, we won't know who we are. We've got to do a better job of getting across that America is freedom, and freedom is special and rare. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of enterprise. As long as we remember our first principle and believe in ourselves, the future will always be ours. Ours was the first revolution in the history of mankind that truly reversed the course of government, and with three little words: we the people. We the people are free. Once you begin a great movement, there's no telling where it'll end.
Let's create that great movement. Man, that started off so wild. The world we live in, my goodness, I swear. But what a beautiful moment in time. Has there ever been more opportunity for growth to show up? Come what may. I fear no man. I don't fear. We got another ban on TikTok. They will ban anything. Come to find out, anything that goes against their tyranny, their propaganda, and the majority of it, surprise, surprise, this should actually sound an alarm for you today that you're able to hear this information, because the TikTokers are unable to hear it. The majority of what we end up censored on end up being sounding the alarm on things regarding your health. So that's everything. I'm sorry, my dog. It's everything. Bolt had something to say. He agrees. From the chemtrails, from the frequencies, from the poisoning of food, water, and anything. We could say childhood vaccine schedule, ? Taken down. COVID shot. I bet we could say COVID shot, something positive, they'll take it down just to be sure. Unbelievable. So why is that? That tells me that's one of their number one strategies, because they haven't resorted to kinetic warfare and shooting. That we've wisened up, no matter what they kick off, we're not going to blindly roll up our sleeves to shot. So they need to perfect what they're spraying in the air. They need to perfect the centralization of the food and what they put in it. They need to continue to have access and control the water globally, and especially in this country. Like, that just showed how evil has been cropping on this country. They want to play race wars and keep us divided. It's very sad. Yes, it's disheartening, but we can see past their war tactics and unite. It doesn't matter what size, what shape, what color at all. It doesn't even matter what indifferences we have. We actually can hold that endearing to like one another and gain back the communication. We just got to eradicate these war tactics to where we can have these conversations again, folks. We need to unite so effectively that we render this threat coming up next null and void. That we could stand as one so profoundly. Doesn't matter, former Republican, former liberal, Democrat, doesn't matter. We need to be able to stand together, unified. Because the tactics that they've geared up now in this current tyrannical, occupied, conquered administration, conquered country we have, this is proof. We brought the evidence of what they recently signed and reenacted, and now RFK is sounding the alarm on it, so I did not misread it. But they can use lethal force with our military now against we the people. Right before an election. Let's listen to it.
Say one other thing. President Harris said today in her post, in her speech, she said that President Trump was going to turn the U.S. military against the American public and use the public.
Not true.
To promote his agenda. How many of you think that is true? Well, what's interesting to me is that the Biden-Harris administration has done something.
He'll turn the system against the criminal illegals that invaded this country and the sleeper cells and the legitimate terrorists and the individuals that do not have the moral standing or upbringing or beliefs we all have in this country, which has led to unfathomable amount of crime, pillaging, raping of our women and children. It is horrific. The actual statistics, the numbers speak for themselves, and we don't have a country if we don't have a border. Now, it would be nice to live in some type of utopia where borders weren't necessary. Unfortunately, we're not there at this time. We must ensure our freedoms and our safety. When we effectively can do that and rule out the corruption, I genuinely feel we then could more effectively, without enriching the fat cats, go over foreignly and help stand up similar self-running engines that will run very efficiently. But not until then. We got to get things running efficiently here. By the people, for the people, of the people.
2 weeks ago that has never been done in American history, which is to send exactly lethal force, to send a directive to the Pentagon.
Directive.
Changing the law to make it legal for the U.S. military to use lethal force against American citizens on American soil.
On American soil. Think about it. They just purged our military. I've had military men on this podcast. This is no joke. They brought it to my attention. They're like, James, it scares me what they were able to do with the COVID tyranny. Because I stood against this shot. It was an emergency use. There was no FDA. You legally cannot enforce that upon anyone. The religious views out the window. All these infringements of rights. They were the most morally upright men we had. And they got the boot. They were threatened. So these military men are concerned. And now especially that they're bringing in, they've certain states or even in certain elected officials stating like, oh, we'll take illegals in the military. I mean, shoot, if they're willing to die for this country, then they deserve citizenship. They deserve to come join the military. They have no elite. They're only going to fulfill what they are told. That isn't like the morally upright men that got the boot, that fulfilled their oath on threats, foreign and domestic. Now we're filled with a bunch of red, pink-haired. Now, I'm sure there's great individuals still in the military, no doubt about it, but the most morally upright are gone. They've invited others that just, let's just say it's never been weakened like it has today to potentially actually follow orders. Think about the talking heads. How they weaponized Jan 6. Demonized it to where so many Americans haven't even done the research and looked at the information, how they instigated that. They were pushing old people downstairs. They instigated it before anything. There's an escalating and de-escalating tactics. And they escalated it there. All the Capitol Police. And it is clear as day. So who's to say? Election anything. Certain gatherings. How they could escalate. How they now could, oh my gosh, we demand military takeover. This is getting anarchy, chaos. Spin whatever narrative they want. Soldiers, it's your orders. Whatever means necessary to shut this down. We got to unify as a people to an unbreakable level. And I would only hope and pray that the majority of our sheriffs, law enforcement, service members, whether they're firefighters, National Guard, but also our veterans and active duty members, get on board. Things are going to get wild. Buckle up.
Technically, now it's legal, the U.S. military, under this directive,
yes,
it will become legal for the U.S. military to shoot and kill Americans who engage in political protests because they disagree with policies in the White House.
Right. Absorb that.
I'm not making this up. Any of you can look it up.
We've showed you.
This is a Democratic initiative. This did not come during the Trump administration. This did not come from Donald Trump. It came from the Democratic Party. And that's why I left the Democratic Party.
Good. Way to call him out. Once again, evil. I don't care, red, blue, Democrat, left, right. It's clearly these individuals, whatever party they're associating with in this moment. We got to see past the colors and the weaponization and polarization of names and how primal we freaking are, and just ultimately look at individuals, good versus evil. These individuals are projecting the others as the threats when they themselves are doing everything, becoming the very threats in ways we've never seen before, to where they can arm our own military and have them turn their firearms using lethal force against citizens in this day and age. That's not an empty threat, folks, what they're gearing up for here. This is full socialist, Marxist, commie behavior. It's full tyrannical control. In fact, it's solely from the synagogue of Satan. We've gone into a lot of the ugly with the child sex trafficking. It's all intertwined. It is so freaking disgusting. But it is what it is. We can only do what we can do. It's important that we do what we can. That is why we're here. You weren't born in this time to focus on your personal bubble. Not in this time. I'm sorry. Pretty sure you would have been born in a different area where bubbles were accepted, where it was all under the same bubble. You have a unique set of gifts that could apply in, it could save lives. It could shift the trajectory. It could save souls. Maybe it is you just increasing your bubble in a sense and bringing more people in. Seeking God's will for you. But the thing is, your prayers won't even consist of the actual threats unless you're educated on them. So how are you going to seek proper counsel if you are too absorbed into this existence? That's why it's so crucial that we get on free speech platforms. We magnify episodes such as this to get out to the masses because we're fighting against every algorithm there is, even on Rumble. Help us achieve that. Help us bless other lives. That is all we're here to do, and create more and more solutions. It becomes so real to me that I am such a limited being in a one-man band, and I'm giving it all. I'm making every sacrifice I can. I'm considering selling my home I can't even afford to live in to continue this battle, because I don't see anything else that matters when we're visitors here. I'm willing to go down with the ship and die fighting to obtain the abilities and freedoms to find the reasons as to why we're here, to have some enjoyment. Our health, our spirits are under grave attack, and I just pray that we fend it off just a while longer so we can fulfill the purpose while we're here. Because it doesn't seem as though we're going to right this ship in this era. There's just not enough energy going towards that and organization effectively. If you feel called to magnify the impact we can, finances could be a means to an end. I hate talking about this fake currency. But the reality of it is, if we had the funding to have individuals to market, if we had the funding to spin off web pages where people could go and we could help spoon feed progress, actual calls to action and solutions that would lead to better results on the poisons that's happening to your children. I'm so on board with that. You just want to fund that singularly. I'll give you my personal number and you can hold me directly accountable to that. I am on fire for that, and I'll be full-time. You can email me at unmuzzledchat@gmail.com. You could reach out to the links below, in whether it's through the Buy Me a Coffee, the direct Venmo Cash App, or the GoFundMe. You could bless this platform to magnify the impact we could have right here, right now. That's a different type of investment than your 401k. I venture to say it's the most important investment you can make in your future. And unfortunately, a lot of these churches and pastors aren't really willing to combat the war that's waged in a direct sense. And they're just, let's just say some have fallen. So this book, 1 Minute Prayers for Men, we'll just say 1 Minute Prayers. I like this one. It's labeled Integrity. The title says, Live and Learn. I genuinely believe we are losing the ability in real time to even the most basic fundamentals of this life, of living and learning. Who else like me continually relearns? I believe this to be proof is to a diminished state I can still connect with God, and I'm grateful for that. But I could see the opportunities like slipping right from our fingers. This window is closing fast. But under Live and Learn, it reads, he who ignores discipline despises himself, but whoever breeds correction gains understanding. The fear of the Lord teaches a man wisdom, and humility comes before honor. What an amazing biblical verse. That's Proverbs 15:22 through 23. I'm going to make a little star there because I'd like to add that one into favorites and spend some time pondering it. The actual little prayer reads, Lord, open my heart up to correction. May I add, Lord, open up our stubborn hearts up to correction. Stubborn hearts. His will. When I receive fair guidance from another person, I become defensive or embarrassed. I hold back from saying anything about my feelings, but later I dwell on that sense of failure rather than on the tools I have been given to do a better job. Let me trust that your hand is on me and the circumstances, so I will be receptive to the lessons you are teaching me. God, I want to be a humble man with integrity in all areas of my life. Let me be as eager to receive instruction as I am to receive praise. More eager. Forget praise. When you feel his love, you don't need mortal praise. Next time I face the situation, I will lean on you for strength. Amen. Beautiful. I hope we try implementing that to the best of our ability. Let's kick off this sound. Jesus is calling. Let's go ahead and dive into the Jesus is calling for the day. Let's not miss that call. We are October 24th. Hope you're all having a terrific day. I'm so grateful for all the Unmuzzled Chat warriors and all you do. You do amazing things. We need to challenge others in our lives to get onto Rumble, to join the Unmuzzled Chat family. Try to gain 10 more followers to the Unmuzzled Chat this week. Challenge them to get 10 the following week. That it's crucial. That's just a part of what we could do in really gaining momentum and real solutions. Watch it grow. Oh, what a great blessing and opportunity we have. October 24th reads, lie down in green pastures of peace. Learn to unwind wherever possible, resting in the presence of your shepherd. This electronic age keeps my children wired much of the time, too tense to find me in the midst of their moments. I built into you, very being the need of rest, for rest. How twisted the world has become when people feel guilty about meeting this basic need. Yeah. How much time, energy they waste being always on the go, rather than taking time to seek my direction in their lives. I have called you to walk with me down paths of peace. I will tell you, admit, I'm excited to take a minute after this, just go for a walk. Yes, I'll be probably some cursing because I'll see these poisons in the sky. But there will be a humbling and putting it in God's hands. Direct me, Father, in the most meaningful impactful way you can. I am your vessel. We need that time with him. I want you to blaze a trail for others who desire to live in my peaceful presence. I have chosen you less for your strength than for your weaknesses. Wow, that hits home. Which amplifies your need for me. Depend on me more and more, and I will show peace on all your paths. There's 3 biblical references. I challenge you to check them out for the day. We got Psalm 23:1-3. And I'm not just reading these to read these. There's great blessing that would come in your life to getting your nose into the Bible. I know this through personal experience. So once again, first one, Psalm 23:1-3. Genesis 2 verse 2 through 3. And Luke 1:79. What a challenge it was, I'll admit, for me to sit here today. We all ebb and flow. And I don't know what it is. This location, the first night, really slept well, and it could be the IRAD stations and the pulsing at night. I don't know. But I'm waking up feeling a different way lately, and I don't know what that's about. Really honed in on water, really honed in on my food. I'm able to shut down all the frequencies at night, and I'm just trying to pay note to that. If any of you are experiencing something similar, please reach out. I would love to know, because I want to hone in on whatever it is that is ailing us so we can provide a solution to obtain health, the best version of you. Let's get it. I want that for you. I want that for us all. We can achieve that together. If you have any links you want to send, topics you want to send, or to guests on this platform, bear a testimony, reach out to unmuzzledchat@gmail.com. I look forward to hearing from you personally. That's the great blessing of not being too big for school, is we can have you all on right now, and that's a blessing for us all to be had. We don't know what's around the corner. That's quite alarming. What RFK was reiterating that we've already hit on a previous podcast. We actually brought up the directive itself and the individuals behind pushing it. That is scary. It's important that we get prepared. Get trained up on a firearm. If you already have firearms. If you have plenty of firearms, well, make sure you have plenty of ammunition. Ammunition, in my eyes, to me, seems more valuable than gold or silver. Now, if you got tons of money to diversify, get some. I mean, I'm no money expert, but I would diversify in like hard assets. I wouldn't sit on this fake currency at all. Or I'd put it towards individuals that could help us get prepared and fight on the front lines to ensure that like it doesn't go really sideways or downhill. But it's important that we get some basic fundamentals. I don't know what shenanigans they're going to pull, but get some survival food. Through American Reserves and mentioning Unmuzzled, you're getting an additional 10% off the survival food, water filtration, generation solutions, all sorts of survival needs. More important than that, I personally feel the EMP shield, folks. Do I pull it up? I pulled it up the other day. You can get it for your vehicles, most importantly, but you can get it for your homes, your generators, your solar systems, and for the cost, we all should be getting them, not just for ourselves or family members. Through the link below, you're getting $50 off every single product. Other than that, we play that little commercial up front because through Insure a Patriot, that is a godly, Jesus-loving man. Yes, it's business that deals with your health insurance, your life insurance, your business insurance. But why not reach out to him, mention Unmuzzled, and he will do a free analysis to see if he could come up with better coverages at better costs for you. Let's support a true patriot and God-fearing man versus whoever you ended up with, maybe because of your job. I don't know. Other than that, let's protect our individual selves. On charge, you're getting a 15% discount. You know, I got an email from them. I need to verify whether things got changed. But it was previously a 15. I'm going to verify that. I swear by their infrared sauna blanket. I hope I have enough power to run that tonight. I would love a detox. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. I should have my hands on MasterPeace tomorrow. I cannot wait to start taking that tincture again. I swear I didn't have these skin issues, tendon issues. Maybe after a week or so of that, I'll be able to start picking up weights again. It's crazy. When you have heavy metals in your body, it impacts a lot. If you have heavy molds, that impacts a lot. Or parasites, that impacts a lot. We need to balance our nutrition. I look forward to getting affiliated with some of these companies. I'm in the process of working out some with them, but I'm going to test them. So that's going to take some time because I'm not just going to go off of all their testimonials. I want to see how it benefits me so I could speak from a place of truth. I don't want to sell you any bill of goods. We have too much of that in this world. I want real hard solutions that are genuinely going to work for us all. Patriot Mobile seems to be one of them regarding a cellular mobile network. Why support Verizon and tyrannical AT&T or T-Mobile when you can put more of the money towards a Christian conservative mobile network that's pro-life, fighting on behalf of our freedoms and our veterans? Simply by mentioning Unmuzzled, whether you go to their webpage or a phone call with them, they'll waive fees and take care of you. It's another one of those things, like information won't hurt you. Check them out today. If you're in Arizona, check out Unchained Wellness Clinic. Mention Unmuzzled, you'll get free services from them, as well as Pure Benefits, Aesthetics, and Wellness. Caitlin's a special one. You know, she just got asked, and I believe she's going to be performing. She's got quite the voice on her, and she's going to be performing for Carrie Lake, and I believe in Arizona very soon. I hope she shows up with a lot of video captures so I could actually share her gift from God with all of you. Holy smokes. She's giving me goosebumps. I've teared up listening to her sing. To bring that would be such a treat, and have her guest and talk all about what they're offering with their business. Truly living selflessly on behalf of others. The more we can surround each other with people like that in our lives, the more blessed we're all going to become amongst all the challenges. Think about it. The world could deteriorate around us and become harder and harder. But if we're supporting one another, we could live in a land of abundance. We could protect one another through all means. And we do that on a large enough scale, we could push back the darkness in such a way God might just show up to pat us on the back. Let's do what we can. I freaking love you guys. Thanks so much for joining this episode here today. I pray God blesses you this life. This life. This day, I meant to say. Wow. Of course, in life as well. I'll miss you. I'll look forward. I mean, in full transparency, I have a real close friend up in an area. He's doing a first hunt. I don't know how much I got in the tank, but I'm going to do what I can to kind of explore this area and help get on the very elusive Coos bucks. We'll see what happens, but I'm going to do what I can also to break away and continue episodes. I want to be very in tune as to not what's selfish of me doing while I'm up here or what's good. And if it feels like showing up for him on certain days is selfish and I got to be doing this, then this is what I'm going to be doing. But just know, I've been so committed, there really hasn't been much time off at all since we kicked this off a freaking year ago. Unbelievable. And it's been nothing but extreme sacrifice. But with that extreme sacrifice, there's been great blessing. And that's meeting many fine folk just as you. So I thank you. Until next time, God bless.